ADHD Babes, the podcast. A podcast hosted by the ADHD Babes community for the community. Please note, nothing mentioned during the podcast is meant as a diagnosis. If you believe you have ADHD, please seek professional advice and visit or join ADHDBabes.com for help with diagnosis. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. And now, you're listening to the next episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast.
Hello and welcome everyone to a new episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. Thank you to everyone who's joined us by listening so far. Don't forget to follow so you never miss an episode, and also rate, review and share so that others can find us too. Today's episode is hosted by me, Naomi, also known as Nicole on the gram. And today we're going to be discussing music and how it impacts the ADHD brain. Joining in on the discussion, we are joined by our guests, OGs, ADHD Babes, Shauna and Jules. So, research has identified a positive link between ADHD brains and music. Music can help with boosting mood, emotional regulation, reducing stress, keeping track of time, and also improving memory, promoting organizational skills, and just generally adding structure. All these things can support and benefit the ADHD brain. You might have used a song to help you remember exam content. I know I have many a times, particularly when it's not in English. And maybe you play a few songs while getting ready in the morning so you don't take too long. Maybe you work out to music in the gym for motivation and to keep pace. So let's start off by discussing how you use music in your day-to-day life. Shauna, can you describe your relationship with music? What's your favourite genre and song?
I think I would have to just go with the basic R&B, but I generally just like music in general. Like if it's a good song, I'll listen to it regardless of the genre. But my favourite song is probably Masego to Dow.
Oof, good one. Jules, do you have a favourite song and genre?
So people are going to be really surprised, but the way I get my dopamine hit with music has to be, my favourite genre is soca. So soca music.
I love soca.
I listen to it winter, summer, spring and fall. People are just like, isn't it just for carnival vibes? I said, nah. Soca is in my spirit every day, all day. So I'm listening to soca
rightfully so.
So I wouldn't say I have a favourite song. I tend to listen to a lot of mixes, because just to keep my... I've grown up with music. I love music. I'm literally the person that likes to have their headphones with them everywhere they go. And so... and I also love listening to mixes as well. So I'm always kind of forgive me, side-eyeing some DJs when they don't know how to mix, because I'm like, how dare you be mixing music like this? Mix it better.
At them, tell them.
I won't be that petty, but I would say, I like listening to soca, but I would say my favourite sort of artist has been Patrice Roberts, Marshall Montana, just to list a few. But yeah, soca music to the day I die.
Amen. And good as well that you don't exclusively just savour it for the summer. You know, the countdown to carnival and everyone's got their soca mixes going. It's a whole year vibe. So I really love that.
What about you?
Oh, my favourite genre. Hard. I would probably... Do you know what? I'm going to say my favourite genre at the minute is 80s disco.
Oh.
It's really hitting at the moment. It's such a good dopamine fix. I don't know, it's just really helped me navigate the mornings these days and just put me in a good mood whilst I struggle to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So that's been the one at the minute, I'd say.
Disco.
There's been a big link between ADHD and creativity, and it seems to be particularly common amongst musicians. Many music artists are known for having ADHD. These include Doja Cat, John Lennon, SZA, Kurt Cobain, Ozzy Osbourne, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Loyal Kana. Also got Mel B, Justin Bieber, Joyner Lucas, will.i.am, Solange Knowles, and Britney Spears, to name a few. If ADHD brains are drawn to making music, surely music must have a benefit to the ADHD brain, right? So, tell me, what do you find yourself seeking out in music for its benefits? For me, it's when I know I have a task to do, like cleaning up or cooking, but I feel quite stagnant and I procrastinate so much before getting anything started. And I also turn to music when I feel quite anxious to soothe me. Let's switch things up and maybe start with you, Jules.
Oh, so for me, I think it's similar when I know that I have to do a particular task that I've been holding off for a long time. And that is right now, my clothes being in a massive pile in my spare room. And I just keep on going into that room and be like, one day I'm gonna come back to you. But it has to take music. And sometimes I just have to put my speakers on or my headphones on. And then next thing I know, that I've managed to get it all tidied up and I've done even more. So I use it as an opportunity. Music kind of does that for me. Even like in the shower, I can't shower in silence. I don't understand how people do it. I can't be left with my inner thoughts while showering because
absolutely
by
not.
the time I come out and be like, I do not want to get on with the day. I want to go straight back to my bed. So having that like bomb playlist to like, you know, loosen the hips to in the shower, it's just an extra niceness because, you know, you come out and you're like, okay, actually, maybe I can take on the day today. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it kind of, those are the benefits for me, definitely.
Love it. Soka has given us courage to do the laundry, to face that pile that we all have. The struggle is real. You're seen, you're heard, you're felt.
While you're trying to put your clothes
No,
away.
absolutely the hell not.
You get them exercising.
How else are you supposed to do it?
Them steps.
How else is it supposed to happen? Innit?
Literally. No. God, I hope everyone listening could take notes because I'm definitely going to start doing that. Wine and fold. Wine and fold. Go forward.
Wine and fold. Come on.
We're making it happen. You heard it here first.
That's what we're doing.
No, wine and fold. It's a real movement. It's a movement.
I feel like that's what should be the episode title, Wine and Fold.
Literally. I'm inspired. Shauna, what would you say?
I feel like music has been embedded in my soul since like the moment that I've been born. So it's so important to me because I also like, you know, I need to sing in the shower. Singing in the shower is better with music. So shower needs to happen. I feel like Jules was saying, if I'm doing any sort of cleaning, I need to be blasting music and it needs to be loud, and I need to be able to sing along to it. And before I know it, I've done the whole house without even realizing it. And
love it.
Driving, I have like a weird one with driving because I need to have the music on, but I need to have it on for different reasons. One, to concentrate, and two, to drown out the noise of the engine.
Okay.
Because I realized it jars me when I started driving electric and there was no engine noise. I suddenly realized I was driving for a really long time without any music on, and it was like not weird. So I think it's also to drown out other sounds as well. But when I'm focusing, or when I'm like just like try to lift up my mood, especially on a Friday, you know, like I need to get to 5 p.m. when you're like the work day is finished, and especially after lunch when you're just tired, you know. So you need to like keep the energy up.
That 3 p.m. slump.
Exactly. And I feel like there's certain genres I will go to when I'm like trying to focus, like more instrumental stuff, so I don't sing along to it, because if you put 90s R&B on, I will find that all of a sudden I'm not typing anymore, I'm singing.
So real, so true, so accurate. Suddenly you're doing
So
karaoke.
in it, and I'm like, you know, neighbours are like, does she work? You know what I mean? Like, she's just singing. So yeah, definitely to manage my mood, to focus, to isolate other noises that might be jarring to me, and to get motivation.
Yes. I can definitely relate in terms of like kickstarting that motivation. So like having some pick me up, feel good songs. Maybe start off with a mini karaoke sesh just so that the vibes are high and you set the environment and the tone. Um, but yeah, I think something I've found that has been helping in recent years is like kind of listening to rhythmic techno. So like
Mm.
electronic music without words, and it's just like a constant, so that I just feel more locked in when I'm approaching, like, say, desk sitting down, kind of
Mm.
focusing tasks, and I'm less likely to get as distracted because I'm not going to sing along. There's no words. What am I saying? So I don't know. It kind of reminds you of like gaming music. It's like that kind of vibe. It just helps you to get
Yes.
really locked in.
Oh, do you know what? There's always the gaming music repeats, and I'll like get so into gaming music. I'll be like singing along with it. Be like, you know exactly what game you're playing by the music.
This is it. Yeah, it's so interesting how music can be so helpful in tackling so many different things.
And I just
Mm.
really wanted to touch up on what Shauna was saying about listening to music in the car, and you literally just reminded me about what it's like for me when I drive. So I had taken a break from driving, so I hadn't driven for like a year and a half, and I was driving the other day, and I was driving at night time, and I get very anxious driving, and so music, having something familiar like songs that I'm used to listening to in much calmer environments also helps calm my anxiety down and my nervousness down when I drive. So I don't understand how people could be driving in silence, because to hear other people's shenanigans and beeping on the road, nah. I need to hear music
Absolutely
that
not.
in on my normal sort of like daily sort of like living, that it calms me down. So being able to get because getting in a vehicle every day, it can be nerve-wracking, and you don't know what to expect. You're just hoping that you get to the other side of your destination safely. You don't know what other people's situation is driving on the road, so you kind of just hope that you use the music to kind of just like calm yourself down and be like, I just need to get from A to B, and if it is this track that's going to get me there, or this playlist that's going to get me there, then please get me there safely, So yeah, that is such an important one when it comes to driving, and the comfort of listening to music.
You just reminded me of something that I do, because I agree totally about that, the comfort. But I will shop listening to music. Like, I find supermarkets just so overwhelming. 1 minute it's cold, 1 minute it's hot, 1 minute it's so bright. So overwhelming. There's so many people in there. I've just like headphones on, singing along to myself, doing my shopping. Does anyone else do that?
Yeah, the overstimulation, the lights, people chatting, kids screaming, just the billions of aisles and products, and God, it's just, I just always try to block it out with like my own music. And like you were saying, Jules, like the comfort of familiar songs and playlists in certain situations is quite nice and soothing. Yeah, I can totally relate. Alrighty, so what about specifically when you're trying to concentrate, some music for the structure and the linearity it provides, and others silence so that they can limit their distractions? How, if at all, do you use music when concentrating, and does it distract you or focus you? I think we've touched upon this a bit in our answers, but yeah, just it'd be interesting to hear about how you feel about, like songs with lyrics. Like, is it really distracting for you, or
Depends
is it
on
not
what
really?
the song is for me, because I feel like if it's a song I know really well, or you have those times where you get that song and you like, it's the only thing you can listen to. it doesn't matter whether or not it has lyrics in it. It's the only song I can listen to at the moment. It's on repeat. It's on repeat one, and it's going over and over and over again. But also, I would say, like, if it's something that's really familiar, like I'm like a 90s R&B song that I've been like, "Whoa, this is my tune," I will start singing to it, so I will get distracted. But quite often, if I'm like, I can have lyrics, if it's not one of, like, if it's just a familiar song that I like but I'm not like into, I can have lyrics. But then I also realize I actually do get quite distracted, like I go in and out of the music. So I do feel like there are times when I'm struggling more with focusing or motivation, and I've used it as a tool to get me to focus rather than I'm already kind of in some sort of focus, but I just want noise. That's when I need things without lyrics. When I'm like, Shauna, you've been sat here like for days staring at a blank screen.
It'll be
Like,
days. It'll be days. It'll actually be days, and then they
not
turn into
actually,
weeks.
yeah, like, how long has this been on your list? You are going to achieve it today. Like, that's when lyricless music, like instrumental music has been more beneficial to me. But if I'm just like, I think that the other day I was typing, or if I'm typing something, sometimes lyrics are bad because then I start typing the lyrics.
Oh God, yeah,
I
that's
would
happened
be like,
so
nope,
many
that's
times.
not backspace.
Better not send that email.
Literally, the amount of times.
When I be like, "You're the love of my life," in the email, I'll be like, "What? Wait a minute."
Literally,
Sure, there's been an issue here. Imagine.
I don't know what this means.
And you just read back, you're like, what the hell?
No, I'm glad I always catch myself, because there are definitely some things that, those times where you really think you type something, so you don't even bother to check, because obviously checking is just ridiculous, like
Boring.
And then you're like, oh, undo. How do I undo this email?
Oh, what's it called when you you can recall an email? That was that's such a great
like,
that
oh
one
my
has
God,
saved
that
lives
has to be on.
and careers.
Has to be on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Leave it in my outbox for a bit.
Jules, do you have any thoughts on the lyrics? No lyrics?
Yeah,
Experience?
so I pretty much listen to music with lyrics, but so as much as I've been speaking highly about soca, I know if I'm studying, because I'm studying at the moment, I'm kind of like, I cannot be putting on soca because immediately I want to get up and start winding my waist. So I kind of opt for more of an album that I've listened to before, something a little bit more chilled, so an Ari Lennox or say a Jasmine Sullivan, because it will get me in my feels, but then I'm writing with like, I'm about to,
it's coming from the heart
essay. Like, I've got Jasmine on my side telling me, girl, you can do this. You know, she's giving me them words of encouragement. So naturally, I think I'm going to more kind of like lyrical albums rather than just singles. When I want to do stuff that like requires me to fully concentrate. And I would say kind of like the albums that I go for, like I said, Ari Lennox, Jasmine Sullivan. I also love Yeba. Her music. It sounds really sad and depressing, but it's just so smooth, soothing, her voice.
Yeah, very
and I
beautiful
just enjoy
voice.
kind of like listening to sort of like her album. It could even be to fall asleep. Like, I also listen to music to fall asleep as well. Because,
wow,
again,
that's really interesting.
That's also something, because my mind runs at 1,000 and it just doesn't stop. And that leads to insomnia for me. So I won't be able to sleep. But sometimes having music or even rain sounds, which is just, I would say it's kind of music. It's sound. It's something that helps with the brain. I found that really, really helpful. And non-lyrical sort of like music, I don't really, the only time I really sort of like listen to that stuff is like if I'm writing, like because also I'm a writer, so I do a lot of like, I write scripts and I like storytelling. I love storytelling. So I would put on like a jazz sort of album. Music I don't even know. I just be like, Spotify, decide what I'm going to listen to, but make sure there's no lyrics. And I just listen to it. And it's just being able to kind of just fully focus and concentrate. I think that's the beauty of music, is the fact that we have access to so much of it. And it can kind of bring so many different emotions and so much support in the way we kind of like function in life and do things in life. And, you know, I sometimes when I hear people say that they don't listen to music, I'm like, huh? Excuse me? Like, as much as I don't listen to the newer tracks, as much as I don't listen to the newer music, I listen to music. So if someone was to tell me like a new artist, I'd be like, I don't know who that is. But if you tell me someone from the 80s or 90s, I can list down.
Yes.
The early 2000s, I can list down. But to hear someone say that they don't listen to music, I don't trust you. I'm sorry. Like, I don't trust you.
It's true.
Yeah, I really don't. Because what do you do to enjoy life?
I couldn't agree more.
You can read, but what do you do to enjoy life as well?
Do you get it? What's the soundtrack to your life? Like,
looking
what?
out the window, like...
Sorry, that sounded really messed up. That was really bad, but
don't you feel like a lot of memories are linked to like the songs you were listening to? Like, how do you not listen to music? Like, there's, you know, certain slow jams that you got to have on at certain times. You know, I have songs that I'm like, yes, this is my song with my aunt, or this is my song with my mum, or this is a song with my friends. Like I feel like how do you store memories if not connected to music?
Right?
It's so wild. And I think as well, something that I've learned is that neurodivergent people really feel music on like such a deeper level. And I think that's something it's just so different. So it's like, I know that if I ever meet someone and they really love music, or they, you know, it's not even about knowing the news, people, whatever, they just like enjoy music, whatever genre. Like, to me, that means, I don't know, it's like unagi, we're on the same wavelength of life kind of vibe, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Let me tell you, when I first meet people, I'm like, so what's your top 5 90s R&B music? What's your top 5 songs of this era? That's what I'm doing. That's how I get to know you. Like,
yes.
The thing is, I hate the favourite song thing, because I'm like, I don't know that I have a favourite. I have a favourite in terms of like some things, and I'm not always great with like the names of artists or the names of the song that I want, often because I'll be listening to music and I'm not looking at the name of the song. So like that really scares me sometimes when people are like, oh, what your favourite? I'll be like, well, I'll tell you what I'm listening to right now.
Yeah. I so feel you. I had a conversation with my friend about this like a while ago, because I said the same thing, particularly in like, you know, when you're dating or you're meeting meeting new people and they shoot you that, like, what's your favorite album of all time, or your favorite like songs? And I don't know, mine goes blank, but the second say you start singing the song, I'll sing along, I'll know every single word, I just can't recall in the moment. So she's like, just prepare a list before you sing.
Oh, that's me. I'm preparing a list. I've got a list in my notes.
Yeah,
I need
top
a list.
10, top 5, top this,
do you know
top
what
20.
do you know what it is as well? Like, literally so many, like someone will say to you, oh, do you know this song? And I'm like, no. Do you know this artist? No. They play the song and I'm singing it.
Yes.
So I clearly know the song. Just don't know what you're talking about.
And something about, I've also realised with people with ADHD, lyricists can remember the lyrics for days. You know, even like an example, last night I was doom scrolling on TikTok, came across this song by Prima J. I don't know if you guys remember these two sisters, so random, and they sang this song Rockstar, which I promise you I've not heard in 18 years. I heard the video and all the words came back and I was just like, you see this rain?
Yeah.
Magic.
I know, I love that. It's like 3LWs for me. Like I hadn't heard it in since I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden I'm singing the rap and everything. Like, how do I even like?
It's crazy.
That's so nuts. I'm going to take it even further back for me
Mm-hmm.
because me and my brother and sister, like growing up, our parents, because I grew up in a Christian household, and my parents had these like kiddie viddies of like Christian. It felt very kind of like latter day, like Mormon music videos of little kids like singing songs about Jesus and God. And just the other day, me and my siblings were in our kind of like our usual Zoom chat, and I was like, I remember this song, and I started singing it. And this is something that I haven't listened to in 20 plus years. And we entered this rabbit hole, and then we started playing the songs from like YouTube, and we're all singing the lyrics together, like we were singing it like a couple of days ago. And it's just so amazing how the brain works, that you can capture memories with people, and music can then bring those memories back, and then you'll be able to sing those songs, and we're like, oh, remember when we used to sit and run on the TV and we'll rewind it to that song and fast forward it and be like, oh, I don't like that song, let's change to that song and stuff like that. So it is like so powerful.
So easy to skip music nowadays.
Like, back in them days you were like hoping that the video don't scratch and the video. Now it's skip.
Skip. Do you know what? I have two things, but I'll start with one. Have you guys ever listened to brown noise?
Yes.
We're talking about
all the noises.
Brown noise, I feel like it's better than white noise. It's not really noise, but it is noise.
It's like a aeroplane sound. You know, in the plane, like there's that constant sound.
Yeah. Honestly, I just YouTube
really
like brown
brown
noise. I don't know. I just saw like obviously on TikTok, like people like saying, oh, like brown noise is supposed to be really like it's supposed to calm and silence your brain, and I actually think it works.
It's so good.
I started listening to that to work, like just when I was really struggling to focus, like when you're having those really struggling days, I just go to brown noise, and so there was that. So I wondered if anyone had seen that. And my second thing was the overlapping things that they do on TikTok, and they're like, can you like neurodivergent brains can hear both songs?
Absolutely. 100%.
I definitely I can hear both songs, and I can sing both at the same time if you want.
Our brains are built different. But brown noise I've used, but more to sleep. But good shout to use it whilst you're working to help focus, because it's having like it's like helping focus to sleep, I guess. So it's such a good idea to use it whilst you're working. But speaking of memories, we know that music is used to treat conditions such as dementia, as it can help to actually recover memories, as music is usually tied to events in our past. Is there any song that marked a moment in time for you? We'll start off with Jules.
Okay, so I have one off of the riff, to be honest, because I think I was thinking about it the other day, and one particular, not even song, but album that really every time I listen to it, it takes me back to that memory is Drake's Take Care album. And I remember when it came out, I was actually volunteering in Kenya. And that was the album that I was listening to in the 3-4 months that I was out there. Every single morning, walking to my volunteering placement, just listening to it, listen to the songs, be like, oh my God, yeah, I'll take care of you. I'm like, yeah, man. And
that
so
was an era.
Every time I hear the songs from that album now, it just takes me back to that place. It's like I get the smells, the feels that I had been in Kenya and all of those things, and it's the impact it had on me, and then also kind of like the conversations I remember having when I was in Kenya with my brother. I'm talking about, oh yeah, Drake, this album is sick, man. All talking about all of that stuff, and having those conversations always come back to me. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't think he's done an album any better than that afterwards, if I'm being honest. Now, people can argue with me in the comments. I will not be there, but you can argue with yourself. But for me, myself, Take Care was his album for me. And that was mainly based because of like the memory and the impact it had on the time that it came out and where I was in my life at that time. So, yeah.
Such a good answer. I just remember that era. That was a time.
Yeah. Everyone's like, Drake's the GOAT, man. No.
He was really doing his thing. Before he decided to fight Kendrick.
But, you know.
Yeah. Team Kendrick.
Yeah. They not like us.
They not like us.
Hey, talking of not like us, you see like Drake suing for that song.
Yeah. Apparently artificial inflation of the song.
You know when you just think
sorry, your ego just got bruised.
Just walk away.
Hold it.
You know what, yeah? Come out in the summer with a banger. People would have forgotten. If you had come out with a banger in the summer, people were fickle. Do you know what I mean? We were like,
this is it.
Hey, this banger. But you, with your big old chest, you decided that, nah, everybody's to blame. I'm taking everyone to court. You look like an idiot. I'm sorry. And stitch this. Whoever wants to stitch this, I've been putting up. Stitch it. I don't care. Because it's true. We're all thinking it.
So real.
Oh, Drake.
Oh, Drizzy Drake. Shauna, what would you say?
So, I have so many.
Yeah.
That I just kind of want. I like my. I'm going to tie this one of a really early memory, and that's like Whitney Houston. And it was, I don't even remember what album it was, but my dad would listen to it from the time that he went to sleep, and it'd be on repeat all the way till he got up in the morning. And I can't not hear Whitney now and think of me as a baby, like just coming in the morning to jump on my dad's chest.
Oh.
So I just thought that was cute.
That's such a throwback memory.
And I really mean young. I must have been like 3.
Is it that's really with I'm Your Baby Tonight?
No, I don't think so. Yes, I think it is.
And she had a song, My Name Is Not Susan.
I was 3. Now I'm not actually sure of what was on the things now. Because obviously there was the Waiting to Exhale, not Waiting to Exhale, the
Bodyguard. Was it the Bodyguard?
Yes, the Bodyguard one that was after that. But yeah, it was like 93, mate. 93.
Yeah, I think that because I heard that if it's the album I think you're talking about, I heard that when I was probably about 11, even though it was quite even though it was quite later on, but that album has a memory for me as well. So it's interesting how albums can create memories, different memories for different people, but there's still like a connection because that album has had an impact in our lives.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that like most of the things you can't really remember that young.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a key one because I can remember quite clearly coming in every morning, and it's even say to my mum, like, how did you deal with that with my dad? Like literally just playing the same album every night on repeat. Like, how did
real
you
one.
do?
She's a real one.
Your choice. But yeah, and I remember like just listening to Rihanna Auntie.
Oh, you took my one. I was literally going to say that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to listen to that anytime I traveled, like just the whole album on repeat. And yeah, that had some really big ties for me, like actually moving out of London for the first, properly for the first time and still traveling into London. So yeah, the Auntie album was obviously there. Sometimes I would mix it in with some Lemonade, but like that was
okay.
Not really. It was mostly just Auntie. And it was a long journey, so it got to repeat.
Yeah, that was also just such a pivotal era. I just remember like the times when we would go to like Westfield when it first opened and she'd be performing and she'd and just being so excited to hear her songs for free, but then you can't even see her. You could just see this red dot in the far distance of the hair. And
But you was there,
yeah,
so
Yeah.
we made it. We saw Riri. But yeah, I think another one for me would be Jasmine Sullivan's like was it the first or second album, Fearless? I think, yeah, that was like, I think she's just the most violently underrated vocalist in the universe.
preach.
She's so
And
good.
I think I personally manifested her coming to London last year, however I missed it.
No, I saw
Because
her.
I was away.
I actually saw
I
her.
genuinely said some prayers. I swear on my life, like a few months before, I said some prayers and I was like, I genuinely feel this will be like the year she's coming to us. Like she has to. And then I remember me and my friend who was super obsessed with her saw that there were some tickets that she was performing at that festival, Lovers
the
and
Recipe.
was it? Yes, the Recipe.
Yeah, because I
And
actually
was just
ended up
gutted.
getting a
That was the
ticket and
only
going.
time. How was it?
Oh my god, she was so good. I was looking at people like, do they even really know her music? Because some people were looking like, I was like, no, move out my way, man. I was like, let me give you a bit of Jasmine Sullivan. Nah, do you know what? Yeah, she was amazing, and I was so glad. Like similar to you, I was like, Jasmine has to come to the UK. Why is she not coming to the UK? People love her hair. What's going on? Please come.
Such
to the
a strong
UK.
fan base here. It's
Yeah.
I always find it like crazy when there's these massive artists who have such a crazy fan base here, and they just never. Do you know the
Why
way
would
we
you
would
not come
welcome
perform,
them?
dude?
Do you know the way?
Yeah.
You're missing out on money.
Honestly.
I think
In this concert,
she did mention that the last time she was here, I think 6 months later, her mum passed. So, and then also, I don't know if she has, I don't know, don't take my word for it, but I think that she had a fear of flying as well. So that was also another thing. But it worked out in the end because it was like, to be able to come to the UK, and she didn't only do London, I think she also did like Manchester.
yeah, she did, because I was trying to see if I could go Manchester, but it just wasn't making sense.
A time will come. Another time is coming. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll understand and come back soon.
Yeah.
Do you know what
I
I just
really
thought
hope
as
she
well
gets it.
of another time? Oh, was it gone? Right. Okay. So back in the day in London, when I was a teenager, there was an underground radio station that put on these like under 16 or under 18 like raves during the day, and it was called Junior Jam.
Yeah, I know them.
Oh, I
And
don't. Sounds great, though.
I used to, showing our age. They used to, I used to go to all of them, but there's one in particular that had like, I think it was Chingy, Ciara and Houston.
Yep.
Just casually at a day rave.
Yeah, just at a day rave.
Yeah,
Like, it
'cause
was
it's
on
for
from
under
12 to
6.
6. It's for under 6. It's for children.
Yeah.
And they, I know that there was other ones, but I always remember that one in particular. And I think I remember it because we weren't impressed by Houston and we booed him.
No way.
We booed him and we didn't see Houston again, that one album that he did. But, you know, there's always like, I feel like the Chingy and the Right There was like before like the Soulja Boy era and stuff like that, where everybody was like, I like it when you do it right
Yeah,
there.
we were just up there doing the dance moves, bro.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
All the time.
So yeah, I always remember that, and I feel like they should be doing junior jams now. Like they shouldn't be leaving out the teenagers, the people who they can't get their parents to go with them to a concert. They should be just be with your friends. You used to dress up with our slicked hair and our trackies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the days, the good old days.
Mm. Yeah.
Bring back the day raves, the unders.
I mean, it's not going to help me, but it's fun.
And sure ain't
Good
helping
memory.
me, boy. So-
Yeah, neither.
But yeah, and it was really weird is that I met someone later on in like more recently, and we were talking about that rave, and we were both there.
Oh,
And we didn't even know that we were like, we didn't know each other back then, but now we know each other and we're like, oh my God, I was at that rave too.
That's so crazy. Such a small
I
world.
know, start young, start at 14.
Reach me. We were living back then.
Isn't it? If only I was 14 again.
Oh, I saw this thing on Instagram today and it was like, remember when all the adults would say, you will see. You know, when like being an adult. So being an adult is just like not what it seems, and we'd want to always like grow up so much. So I just been seeing this thing that's been circulating loads, and it's like adults saying, "You will see," and it's like now I see, and it's like I don't want to see.
No, but I think they hit
Take
us
it
hard.
back. Take it back.
No, the adulting they had is different to the adulting we're experiencing
So
right now.
different.
So it doesn't even comprehend.
Unrelatable.
Like, they
Yeah.
can't
Let's
even
face
tell
it,
us.
they could buy a house back then. Let's face it, like half of us can't even buy a house. You know what I mean?
No. Oof. Oof. Oof.
A
Oof.
lot of us are scraping
So-
for communities, like friendship groups, because
this is
everyone is. It's tough out there. You know, we've got a really horrible economy. The government that we're given has been voted by the people that telling us we will see. They're still deciding what we're going to see, and we're seeing suffering. Like we
This
want
is
it.
And music is holding us together.
Right.
Yeah. Music is live.
Now give us a
Music is
concert,
live
we'll
in the
be
most
there.
non-corny way. Yeah.
Don't care how much you want it for it.
Honestly.
I'll clowner it.
Yeah. Split into 3 payments. Don't worry.
Oh.
I'm going to be there.
God bless Kana and the other one, Clearpay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, I thought it'd be nice for us to share a song or an album or an artist or playlist that you find particularly helpful at the minute with your ADHD. Maybe it helps you unwind or motivates you, or maybe it just simply makes you smile. Should we start off with Shauna?
I feel like we could be here all day. Just with that one question. And I'm
One
sitting
that
here
you're
and
listening to at the moment that you're like rinsing out.
I don't know that I'm rinsing anything too tough, you know. I'm trying to like
Fair.
branch out a bit more, like, because
Mhm.
you know, when you like stuck in a like 90s vibe, that's what I'm
Yeah.
stuck on, like with all the old school songs, 2000s. And I'm like, keep up with what you're doing. But SZA just released a new album over Christmas. I'm probably rinsing that a bit too much, but I think my favourite song out of that is probably 30 for 30. I don't know why. But going back to my original music genre, Tadao can just come on at any time and I will listen to it. And it can't be the album version. It has to be the extended version.
Extended version, yes.
Where you build up,
Yes.
and then I saw you and you hit me like it's got a layer. You got to let it build, and I will listen to the whole 5-10 minutes, whatever. Yeah. So I think it will always goes back to Tadao.
Such a solid song. Have you
Such
seen
a
the
good song.
YouTube, you know, the YouTube video where he's in the studio with the sax?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
with
yeah, that's the-
JFK,
Yes.
whatever his name is, JK. Yeah.
that was such a good song.
Yeah, love that. So I feel like that's been something that steadily always comes up and then you have to repeat. And I've got Teddy Swims. What's the name of the song again? I've forgotten which one it is. Now I've got to go look at it because now I think, but one of the Teddy Swims songs has been on my playlist a lot. Huh? Oh, yeah. Do you remember it? Lose Control.
How does it go again?
I lose control
Oh, yes,
when
yes.
you're not here with me.
Oh.
Yeah. Although, and you know, I do think that TikTok's had a lot of putting that into my head. Like sometimes it's just like whatever's trending is stuck in my head. But yeah, I feel like those are the ones that can always kind of come back and overtake my playlist set on repeat.
Lovely selection. Jules, any songs for us or playlists?
Yeah, so I think for me, and I'm surprised I haven't mentioned him up until now because I'm the biggest fan, is Frank Ocean.
Oh my days! Don't.
Goodness, so true.
Frank
Oh
Ocean,
God, how the hell?
His collection,
the most rinsed album, of course. Are you joking?
Honestly,
wait, which album?
So I'm an original babe, so I'm going back to his mixtape, so his Nostalgia Ultra for me personally.
Best. It's the best. I'm with you.
I've got the album cover tattooed on me.
So, wow!
That's how much of a fan I am. And then also lyrics of one of my favourite songs from Blonde has been White Ferrari, and I've got lyrics tattooed on me from that song. Basically, just Frank Ocean. It's like, as much as people will be like, oh my God, it sounds so depressing. It's like a Teddy hug for me. Like, I thought like I'd been loved on in the most toxic but loving way. Because some of the songs you're just like, rah, what the hell is he talking about? Do you have to be high to listen to it? No, I'm high all the time. So it makes sense.
It does make you feel like that, doesn't it?
You know what I mean? I might not understand what he's talking about, but in my head, apparently my brain does. So
Novocaine.
Yes, just his music, his collection has been able to kind of like calm me down and just kind of just do certain things. Like, for example, again, his work is also like music that I will go and listen to concentrate or to write or to do certain things. Or if I'm even feeling kind of like, do you know what? I'm just in a mood and I can't really shift the mood. I just want to listen to Frank because I know that there's just something that will just make me, maybe I feel like there's a cry coming on, but it's just like, you know, when it's just on the edge, but it's just not coming out. And you just need that song to help you, like, cry.
Talk to Frank for real. Talk to Frank for real.
You know what? I'm going to have to like sign off and listen to Frank, but after Traitors, but I'm going to need to listen to Frank now. You sold
me,
Jules.
And if I tell you, you just need it. Just when you need a moment to cry, you're just like, these tears ain't coming out on a regular. Throw in a bit of Frank.
That is the album I need in this. Like, that is the artist I need in this moment. So I'm really actually so grateful for the reminder to reconnect with Frank.
Yeah, just like, oh my God, how can I forget Frank?
Literally.
Frank Ocean. And I'm okay with him not bringing out new music. I think that sometimes there are artists that have a body of work that we should just be happy to enjoy and engage. And it's not oversaturated. I think everyone is so obsessed with like machining all the music out. Why has he not come out with this? Do you know what? I'm happy with what I got. Yeah. It's a couple of songs.
You can listen to it. You can never get bored.
Never.
Get bored.
And you listen to it in a different way sometimes. You know, when you revisit it.
Yeah, and it just feels revisit like different albums. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also think that for those people that really know Frank, he was releasing tracks every day and everywhere before Nostalgia Ultra. If you really want, you can find those tracks, and it's just the embodiment of who he was back in the day.
Yeah,
and so like I feel like he has a catalogue of music that you can just always go back to. Leave the man to retire. Let him live his life. Do you know what I mean?
It's really true. They've been doing that to Riri as well.
Yeah,
it's
leave her. She's got 2 kids. She's got an empire.
She's given us a lot. She's given us a lot.
Wait, just and turn on Auntie.
Do you get it? Hashtag shush and turn on.
Turn on Auntie.
Because
we've got movements. We've produced movements today.
Yeah.
And do you know what will happen is, if she brings out an album, there's always going to be a bunch of people like, it's like Rihanna's not the same. But you asked for it. Yeah. And she gave it to you.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm not going to lie, she did kind of like, she did kind of tease like a reggae album. And I'm just like, come bring back the Caribbean, Bayesian. Yeah, I'm down for it. I would have been down for it. And I know it would have been sick.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Upset.
But sis, I'm not going to pressure you. Like,
I'm not
No,
either. I'm tired.
you know what? The moment she told me that she was pregnant, I was like, well, we ain't seen that album.
no,
then,
when
innit?
she announced the
Like,
second
Not
one
reggae,
at the
not
Super Bowl, I
nothing.
said, yeah, she ain't bringing out no music. She said to
No
you guys,
pop, no
here's your
whatever.
answer.
It's done. It's done.
She said, this is how I'm telling you. Ain't no new music coming here, boy.
Nope.
No, it's not happening. Not happening.
Absolutely not. But so true. Like, why is it that we apply so much pressure for artists to produce even more just for sake of, rather than like delving back into like their like abundant discography? Like, there's so many gems in there. Like, let just people work at their own pace, you know?
Don't rush art.
Don't rush up. I hate pressure and rushing creativity and stuff.
Thank
So
you.
it's just
Don't
like,
rush creativity.
for whomst, you know?
I'm just sorry, but like we wouldn't have things like Avatar if they rushed art. It
This
wouldn't
is
be
it.
as good.
How
So
many
why do you
years
apply
between
it
the
to
first one and
music?
the second one? I know we're not on that subject.
Like a good 10 years, I swear.
I thought it was like 20. Was it 20?
No, it wasn't 20. I'm not that old.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think it could.
No,
Or was
you
it
know, you
15?
say it. I'm saying I'm not that old, but I might be that old. Wait, now I gotta Google it because I
I
know.
know, because
But do you know what I mean? Like he built new cameras, he built new everything to film the second movie. I was happy to rewatch the first one.
And I think it's also an importance of like, you should allow the individual to grow. Like,
Yeah.
people are evolving. They're not going to be the same person they were 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. Like, you should give them the opportunity to grow creatively. I think,
Definitely.
again, because we live in a society, in a world where we expect everything now and at the palm of our hands, we don't understand the importance of savouring something and enjoying that. And I think music is, what's the word? Oh, I can't remember the word. It will come to me. But I think music is one of those things where it doesn't have to be given to us, but we have it. And so we should enjoy it for what it is, rather than just feel like I'm entitled to it because a couple of people, a couple of artists or a couple of individuals have created this body of work, so now they have to continue to do it because I want to listen to it. No.
And also
the entitlement is wild.
Also those who like when an artist like changes up their vibe, they're like, well, this isn't the original. No, because they're growing as people. They have different experiences. They're able to change their genre if they want to.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce can do country music.
Right?
Let her do what she's
Why
doing.
not? And just for those who need the completism, just to interject, it was that.
Go on, sorry.
It was 13 years gap between the two Avatar movies.
Okay, 13. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Just so you know.
And also, going back to what I was, before I forget, I also think it's an importance that what makes a great artist is an artist that is willing to learn and willing to take the risk to jump into a new genre, try it, figure out if it is for them, and then if it's not, then know that they've tried it, they've conquered that fear of you know, if I bring this out, what does that look like for me? It's just
I
think
so
that
agree with this.
we differentiate artists and celebrities to us regular folk, when in reality we are all the same. Okay, we're not really the same because our tax bracket is different. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, how we hope to evolve as human beings, that is what everyone is trying to do in the world. So, you know, I think that music is precious and we should just hold on to that. And, you know, music, as somebody who has ADHD, has saved just so many things for me, and it's just brought me so much joy, and it's, you know, calmed my anxiety, it's, you know, built my confidence, it's made me feel good about myself in so many different ways, and it's helped me like do the most simplest well, not the simplest, the most difficult activities that, you know, a neurotypical person can do every day. It's having music being played and listening to it makes it a little bit more easier. And sometimes that is just like a golden gem. I'll come off my soapbox now.
No, I completely agree with you. I want artists to be growing with me. Like, I'm not going to stay the same. I'm not going to want to like still be listening to Spice Girls in my 30s. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm happy to go back to the Spice Girls, but if they were still around, I would expect them to be evolved and to be doing something different the way they've grown up since the time that they had their first album. Do you know what I mean? And sorry, I don't know why my neighbours don't know how to be quiet. I completely agree. Like I feel like that evolution of who you are, like you can't if you're releasing the same thing over and over again, I'm gonna get bored of you.
Yes. And you know, something that came to mind, because I was even going to say it as like my album that's been helping me concentrate whilst I was like writing my thesis, was, you know, Andre 3000, his flute album, that one for me, you know, the backlash that he got, of course it was a humongous switch up, of course, but the fact that people were so reluctant to just kind of accept his like journey, where he's at, the place that he's at, the vibration that he's at, and also look deeper into why he even wanted to go down this flute higher frequency kind of music and sound. I find, that just came to mind when you were.
Yeah. And I love that he stood 10 toes deep in that. He said, nah, this is the album. I'm sorry, whatever you were expecting, you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, and I think even, didn't he perform at a festival last year, and I think it was pure flute, no? I don't even know, but... if I'm not mistaken. Wow. So, meet people where they're at. That's the national anthem.
And do you know what? You'll never grow your audience if you always cater to the same audience you already have.
Exactly.
So, I'm happy to change it up and to get a bit of rock and roll or something, or flute, while I'm shopping in Sainsbury's.
Absolutely. So, to round up the episode, let's recap what was spoken. So, we covered how music helps us to approach, to some it can be understood as a simple task, but for perhaps us neurodivergent folk, can seem very monumental. Not monumental, momentous. Huge. That's the word I was trying to say. Is it momentous? No, sorry. It can seem really huge to some of us ADHD folk. We've also discussed how music and creativity and ADHD are all linked, and how we see such a large proportion of artists as neurodivergent people who've created some beautiful gems. And we've also talked about how music can treat conditions such as dementia, because it can help people to retrieve memories, linking music to past events. Thank you so much to Shauna and Jules for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure to chat with you guys, reminisce and learn more about you both. Please, would you let our listeners know where they can connect with you? Thanks for joining. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say they can find me in the comments, but I won't be there. But, you know. That's just me being... That's just my... By the way, I'm a jokester, so I don't mean it like literally.
Don't come for Jules, I repeat. Freedom of expression. Don't come for Jules.
Oh, dear. Just ADHD Babes.
Yeah, that. ADHD Babes.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for this episode. Please feel free to follow our podcast so you don't miss any future episodes, and follow ADHD Babes at socials to continue the conversation. ADHD Babes members, we can also join the conversation on our members-only Discord and WhatsApp groups. So consider signing up and supporting us and doing more great work to support you, our wonderful community of ADHD Babes. Once again, we'd love it if you could leave us a rating and a review and let everyone know your thoughts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Au revoir.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. If you're a Black woman or non-binary person and need help and support in managing your ADHD or advice on diagnosis, please visit ADHDBabes.com. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. Join us in 2 weeks for a new episode. Until then, all the love from the ADHD Babes team.
Just as I am, can you take me just as I am?